May 21st, 2019. I'm not saying there's a cure for addiction. But if there was, we want to look at what it might look like. Now, we don't know what a cure would look like. No one has any idea. And since June 10th of 1935, it has been agreed at the beginning of alcoholic recovery with Dr. Bob and Bill Wilson that there wasn't a cure, there was only a treatment. But if there were a treatment, and I'm not saying, well, if there were a cure, and I'm not saying there is, what would it look like? We don't know what it would look like, but let's find out what it would not look like. Start from there, what it wouldn't look like. How would you know you hadn't solved the problem of addiction? If you're in AA and you're drinking and you stop, they've solved the alcohol problem. But if you're still using porn addictively, then clearly you haven't solved the addiction problem because you're sober from alcohol, but you're still masturbating and using porn. So clearly we haven't come up with a cure. What that says from a simple Socratic syllogistic deduction is this. If there were a cure, and I'm not saying there is, if there were, all the addictions would have to stop. Because if there were any addiction going on, then we clearly haven't solved the problem. So while we don't know what a cure looks like, what we're sure of is what a cure doesn't look like. And that is if there are other addictions going on. Now, some of the addictions that we treat at actwithcourage.com are alcohol, drugs, tobacco, and the most scary one, caffeine. We also treat masturbation and affairs. We treat sex addiction through that particular addiction, love addiction, romance and relationship addiction, sexaholism. We also treat some of the softer diseases, the internal stuff, adult children of alcoholics, codependency anonymous, Al-Anon, Al-Anon, which means that you're involved with somebody who needs to be an Al-Anon but refuses to go. That's an Al-Anon. Also narcissism. We also deal with under-earning, debting, gambling, and artistic and mystical preoccupations. All there are 21 addictions that we deal with very specifically for the last 7 years in Monks and 4 years at Prayer Call on actwithcourage.com. So clearly, if what we stated first is true, since we don't know what a cure is, what we know is what it's not. If any of those 21 addictions are present, then we haven't solved the problem. That's the most basic thing that we've got, that we're sure what it isn't. Now, next time we're going to talk about tools that we can use to address these issues. 6 different things. Now that we know what it doesn't look like. See you next video.